If you're considering whether the World of Hyatt credit card is worth it for you, then you're in the right place. In this video, I'll give you an in-depth review of the World of Hyatt credit card so you can determine if it's worth it. As someone who's been using this card for almost a year, I'll be sharing my personal experience and insights on all of its perks and benefits, as well as some of its disadvantages. Stick around to the end of this video to find out if I think it's worth keeping for another year and if I would recommend it to you. First off, let's talk about the advantages to the card, and first up is the welcome bonus. So the welcome bonus is officially 60,000 points, but that actually breaks down into two separate spend requirements. First is that you can earn 30,000 points after you spend $3,000 in the first 3 months. You can earn an additional 30,000 points by earning 2 points per dollar spent in the first 6 months on up to $15,000 in spend. So basically for the first $15,000 you spend on the card, you'll earn a minimum of 2 points per dollar. And if you reach $3,000 of spend, then you'll earn the 30,000 points. Most people in the travel game would value Hyatt points at 2 cents per point, meaning that 30,000 bonus after $3,000 in spend is worth about $600 in value. And as for the 2 points per dollar after $15,000 in spend, I don't think that's realistic for most people, and personally, I would rather get new welcome bonuses as opposed to spending $15,000 on one card. The opportunity cost is pretty high if you consider that $15,000 in spend could be 3 or maybe 4 welcome bonuses. But if you don't have any welcome bonuses in mind, and you often transfer Chase Ultimate Reward points to Hyatt, for example, then at least for the first 6 months, this card is a great 2 points per dollar card to have. Now, many of the other major hotel credit cards that are comparable to the World of Hyatt card offer a little bit more in value. For instance, the IHG Premier credit card has a 140,000 point bonus, which is worth about $700, since IHG points are worth about half a cent per point. So while I don't think this welcome bonus is amazing, and compared to some of the other hotel credit cards, it's on the weaker side, I do still think it's a pretty solid welcome bonus, especially since Hyatt points are so valuable. So as far as earning categories, this card is going to earn 4 points per dollar on all Hyatt hotels. This is in addition to the 5 points per dollar just for being a member of the World of Hyatt, meaning you'll earn a total of 9 points per dollar at Hyatt properties for using this card. It also earns 2 points per dollar on restaurants, airline tickets booked direct, transit, commuting, as well as fitness clubs and gym memberships. And it earns 1 point per dollar on everything else. But just remember that for the first 6 months, because of the welcome bonus, you'll be earning 2 points per dollar on everything. And next up with this card is that it comes with a free night every anniversary year, meaning after holding the card for at least 1 year, you'll earn a free night every year after, but not the first year. Free nights come in the form of a category 1 through 4 free night certificate in your World of Hyatt account. These can be used at any World of Hyatt property up to category 4 property, which is about Hyatt's middle grade properties. If you look at a list of Hyatt's category 4 properties, you'll find that it's pretty easy to get around $200 in value. I was able to use a free night certificate recently in Puerto Rico, but unfortunately that property is no longer a category 4 property. But there's definitely some great category 4 properties across the US and all around the world. All right, now let's move on to talking about some of the elite status benefits that come with the World of Hyatt credit card. You're going to automatically get Discoverist status just for holding this card. That's one level above the free status that comes with Hyatt membership, and it typically takes 10 nights a year in order to earn this status. Discoverist status comes with some perks like waived resort fees, free water bottle, free premium internet, 2 p.m. late checkout, room upgrades within the same room type, and status match to MGM Pearl. Now, I know a lot of people really look down on Hyatt Discover status, but you can't really ask too much from a low tier status with a hotel. But what I think is interesting is how many benefits are similar to Explorist status, which is Hyatt's mid-grade status. If you look at the difference in benefits with Explorist, the only things you're really missing out are 72-hour guaranteed availability and better room upgrades. This is kind of crazy to me because last year I earned Explorist status, and that took over 30 nights in Hyatt hotels. So just by holding this credit card, you're going to earn most of the benefits that took me about 30 nights to earn. And I will say the perks that are there are really nice. Getting waived resort fees, free water bottles, and free premium internet will save you plenty of money. And 2 p.m. late checkout is a really nice feature that makes it feel like you're getting an extra day on your trip. So I don't think Hyatt Discover status is all that bad, but I do know that other cards like the IHG Premier offer a much higher status just for holding the card. So compared to some of the other statuses that come with credit cards out there, it is on the lower side. Another status benefit that comes with this card is that you'll earn 5 nights towards status every year. And that will help you earn status with Hyatt much faster. And remember, this isn't 5 free nights in a hotel property. These are just nights that count towards your status tier. And as for some of the final perks on this card, you'll have no foreign transaction fees and some decent but not fantastic insurances and trip coverages that come with this card. So as far as perks and advantages, most of these are about what you'd expect with an annual fee hotel credit card, with the highlight really being the free night certificate. All right, now onto some of the disadvantages of the credit card. So first up is the obvious one, which is the $95 annual fee. I already talked about how I think you could get around $200 in value with the free night certificate. So I do think this annual fee is offset pretty well because of that free night. So not too bad for a hotel credit card, but obviously if you're trying to avoid annual fees, this card won't be for you. The other disadvantage to this card is simply that there is a lot of opportunity cost when it comes to some of the other hotel credit cards out there. The other ones being IHG, Marriott, and Hilton. Many of those credit cards come with much higher welcome bonuses, although their points are all far less valuable than Hyatt's. But when you break down the value you'll get for each, most of them offer a higher value than this World of Hyatt welcome bonus. And for that reason, I think this is a major disadvantage to the card, seeing as how there's so much other value you can get out there. And since this is a Chase credit card, it's subject to the 524 rule, which says you can't get more than 5 credit cards from any issuer in the last 24 months. So you really have to think carefully if you want this card to take up one of your 524 slots. So now let's talk about if the card is worth it and if I'll be keeping it for another year. So because of the free night award and the sheer value of Hyatt points plus the welcome bonus, I think this card easily pays for the annual fee. You should be able to get far more value from it than you're paying. And on top of that, you get some of the nice perks we discussed with Discoverist status. And for those reasons, I'll definitely be keeping this card for another year. But that doesn't necessarily mean I would recommend this card to everyone. And I think it all really depends on how loyal you are to Hyatt. When you look at some of the other major hotel credit cards, most of the other comparable cards match or beat Hyatt's welcome bonus. And if you're out for sheer value, one of those cards might be better for you, especially since they all have more locations than Hyatt does. But on the other hand, if you're like me and you know you'll mostly be redeeming your Chase points for Hyatt stays, then I think this card makes sense, especially for the status benefits that come with this card. So in a vacuum, this card doesn't look as valuable as some of the other cards out there. But I know a lot of you stay at Hyatt properties a lot, and this card will increase the rate at which you earn points and status with Hyatt. And it will definitely help you save quite a bit of money when you're staying at those properties. I think the argument to get this card gets even stronger if you want to earn Hyatt Globalist status. Globalist is the highest tier status with Hyatt and is widely regarded as the best hotel status in all the travel game. One of the biggest benefits to Globalist is the free breakfast benefit. At first, this kind of seems like a minor benefit, but when you start staying at some of the nicer Hyatt properties around the world, you'll discover you start spending a lot more money than you normally do on breakfast. And if you were pursuing free hotel nights anyway in the beginning, then you'll start to feel like you're not actually saving that much money. So if you earn Globalist status, there'll be very few things that you're actually spending money on when it comes to your hotel stay. And for most of us, that's the whole point of earning these credit card points. So when it comes to whether I would recommend this card to you or not, I think it really depends if you're going to be transferring your points to Hyatt very often, and if you want to pursue status with Hyatt. For a lot of people, I would actually recommend you transfer your points to Hyatt, and status is an amazing perk that's going to help you save a lot of money. But there are plenty of other ways to play the credit card travel game, and if you're more interested in IHG, Hilton, or Marriott, I think that's a perfectly reasonable way to play. And if you don't have points with Chase, then it might not make a lot of sense to try and stay at Hyatt properties at all. So to summarize, I would say if you don't care about hotel status and don't stay at Hyatt properties frequently, then I'd say this card is a pretty easy skip for you. But if you redeem or transfer points to Hyatt often, or if you're after status with Hyatt, then I will say this card will definitely reward you for holding it. I'm curious to hear your thoughts, so please comment below if you think I missed anything. But thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.